Hi, thank you for being here today. Thank you for volunteering to take some questions for me. I'm just going to ask you a couple of questions about some different topics, and I want you to answer them truthfully as much as you can, okay? I don't want you to worry about if you think you're saying anything wrong because you're not, or what other people might think about you because you're saying certain things. The point of these questions is to get other people to relate with you, okay?
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay, the first question. How would you define a terrorist?
Well, terrorist to me is someone that, they have the intentions to cause like mass panic or mass harm to people. So like, that either they'll come to either hurt people of this country or try to hurt the country itself.
Okay. So many people define terrorists as dark men, or even dark women from the Middle Eastern side, or they have big scruffy beards, or they wear hijabs, or they wear, clothings, or they have all these characteristics, and they come and they wear big backpacks, and some people get afraid. How do you feel about that?
Well, I feel that many Americans are, very uninformed that, what a terrorist actually is, and that terrorists actually come in very different shapes and sizes, of course. Like, they don't always have to pertain to one look. It just so happens to be that Americans nowadays, this is what the ideal terrorist looks like to people. So a lot of people stereotype these people as terrorists, unfortunately.
Okay. So there was a recent incident. I don't remember exactly what airline it was on, but there was a Middle Eastern woman and man. They were a couple. They were married, and she was wearing a hijab, and he was a dark skin, and there was a lighter skinned woman, a white woman, and she complained to one of the flight attendants saying that she felt nervous because he looked sweaty and she was wearing a hijab and she wasn't speaking. And so she, got so scared they actually went and kicked them off of the plane. So people put these stereotypes together and they freak out. Why? Why do you think people maybe act this way, or why do you think they feel this way towards them?
Well, it goes back to the sense that many people stereotype these men and women as terrorists because, as of I'm sure you obviously as well know of, the incident of 9/11 that these terrorists unfortunately hijacked the plane, and it's a very sad day in history of the United States, and many people when they think of a terrorist, it automatically goes back to them and what they look like, and of course being on a plane. People wonder, oh my God, are they going to take over the plane? Are they going to blow up the plane? What's going to happen? And they just get ultimately scared. But it's very disappointing to me because many people think of them like that, but they're Americans just like us. They come and they live and they try to do just the things we do, and if anything, they're probably more scared of trying to get on that plane and wondering, oh my gosh, are we going to get kicked off this plane because of how I look or what I wear or what my beliefs are? Because people just stereotype them as, oh my God, they're automatically terrorists.
Okay.
So,
So that's a different perspective. Many people don't think that. Many people think about themselves. I'm gonna get on the plane and I see this Middle Eastern couple, we're gonna die. But that perspective you gave was of their perspective, what they think. So they think we're gonna get on the plane, we're gonna get kicked out because we look a certain way. So why do you think maybe? Because some people might have both. Some people might have just your perspective or the lady's perspective. So people who have your perspective and they think about them, why do you think that? So what makes you think about them?
well, because like I said, terrorists don't come in one specific way. They come in very different ways. A lot of people think that obviously these people are terrorists to us, but people fail to realize that some people will even consider Americans as terrorists to other countries because we go and invade these countries and set down these rules and standards of how their government works. This is how it should work. There's no more of what you used to believe. This is how it's going to work.
Okay.
And that's you're coming in installing a brand new set of rules and a way of working instead of how these people used to live, and you're kind of just invading their home and privacy, and they see that as like, oh my gosh, these terrorists are coming and taking over my country.
Yeah.
So it's not just because of course us, we're thinking we're going there, we're going to help them because they need our help, but some people don't think that way. Some people don't want that help. They like the way they live, so to them they think we're terrorists, we're trying to take over their land. So it's just, I guess I understand how to look at it, and I know that they don't come in one way. I know obviously, these people come and they're just trying to live a life just like us Americans. And I really just think it's sad that people unfortunately stereotype them that way.
Okay. So I'm gonna ask you a question that's a little different from what we've been talking about. But
Okay.
how would you define peace?
Peace.
Mm-hmm.
I believe peace is kind of like a harmony sense that everyone kind of works like a family, and that everyone works together because your family you help each other, and there's no I should worry about myself more than someone else, and especially in your family, you care for that other person, so you want to help them as much as they can.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I guess like in a society, like you're all trying to help each other and coexist pretty much.
Okay. So, based on that definition you gave me, and based on your thoughts and perspectives on peace, if you were in a situation where you had someone being racist or putting the couple, for example, into that stereotype, if you had the opportunity to speak up or maybe bring peace into the situation, how would you do that?
Well, especially in a sense like that let's say, someone's like in the sense that the person is getting kicked off the plane, I think it's very wrong that just because of the way they look that you should automatically say, oh, I feel nervous because of that. Well, they're not in the wrong. Like the person that is in the nervous one, I'm not saying you're technically in the wrong, but that you might be misinformed. I think it's very important that Americans nowadays should be informed of what actual terrorist is and what the terrorist action is, not just because of what they look. Because a lot of people are going to think of 9/11 and Middle Eastern and put them together. That, oh my gosh, a Middle Eastern person or how they look are automatically terrorists, and it's not true. Like I said, that they come in very different looks and they have very different motives. So I think trying to inform the mass media, saying, hey, this is what a terrorist really is. It's not just one thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I think, in a sense like that, hopefully it could try to clear up events like that, and hopefully you wouldn't see as much as many people being so scared and stereotyping these, these citizens that are trying to just get by with their lives.
Okay. Well, thank you for answering these questions today for me, and thank you for being honest.
Of
And
course.
I appreciate your perspectives, and people can learn from you, and just as we can all learn from each other. Okay.
Yeah, of course.
All right. Thank you. So, as many of us know, many of us like to put people into certain stereo groups, into certain categories, and we falsely accuse them of being someone that they aren't. We criticize their religion, we criticize the family they come from, how they look, what they're wearing, before we even get to know who they are. They say never judge a book by its cover because you never know, what could be behind it. So we have to make sure that we establish the situation and we understand what's happening, and to understand the meaning of peace and be able to bring peace into our lives, into all of our family and friends' lives. And whenever we get the chance to really establish it and speak up for what we believe in, because the only way to make a difference is by being present, being in the moment, and not being afraid to hide your true feelings.